Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. So today's upload comprises 2 hunts during New York's archery season in which we attempted to harvest a doe. I'd already harvested a buck at this point, so the goal was to self-film a doe kill, put some more meat in the freezer, and improve its self-filming. We managed to accomplish all three of those things, and I learned a lot along the way in regards to what I could get away with while attempting to self-film. I hope you enjoy the video, and it was certainly a fun one to record.
So we're on our way into the stand here. It's the first evening of New York archery season. I already bumped a bunch of doe that were down in there eating apples off of these apple trees. So there's deer in the area. I'm just gonna take it slow the rest of the way. This morning I shot a buck, so I already used my buck tag up. I'm going out solely for doe, and I want to get better with filming. I didn't really want to film this early, but I got the buck down, so I figured why not try and film taking a doe. So I'm gonna head into the stand here, see what we can see. It's a new stand, we haven't hunted it yet, so it's almost more of an observation sit to see where the deer are moving than anything, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. Getting in late, it's like 5 o'clock. I wasn't too concerned about getting in here too early. I'm also not too concerned about killing a deer, but we're gonna try. And I almost got a shot off at a doe earlier, just walking in. Started stalking up to it, probably got to within 15, but just couldn't get a shot. So we'll see what we can do, and I'll catch up when I'm in the stand. Alright, so we made it into the stand, and I'm just gonna give you a little look at the view. Massive deer trail coming in from that side. We got some apples right up here, and the deer also like to use this four-wheeler trail right here, so we're gonna see how it goes. Hopefully we can get some action and get some deer on film.
So I do want to apologize in advance. My main mic ended up pretty much just dying. It just made a really high pitched kind of screaming sound, so I'm using my Apple mic to record this, but it was quite the eventful evening. I was pretty much surrounded by deer from the second I got in the stand. And this usually would be a good thing, but in this case there were just way too many eyes on me for me to get a shot off. Because of this, I decided it would be a great opportunity to improve at the filming aspect of hunting, and I got some great shots of the doe and the button buck that were feeding above me. The apples were dropping, so they're basically candy for the deer. And so the doe basically had me pinned down from the second I got in the stand, so I didn't even consider drawing on him. But overall, I thought it was a great evening, and I definitely learned quite a bit that would help me be successful on my next self-filmed hunt, which would take place about 2 weeks later.
Alright, we're on our way to the stand, and it's our second day of looking for a doe here up in New York. It's obviously an evening sit, so we're going to see what we can do. Decent bit was moving this morning, and it's the start of a cold front, so hopefully that gets the deer on their feet. Alright, so we made it into the stand, and it's actually one of the older stands on the property. It's a great spot for doe. There's a lot of food plots around here, so hopefully it's a decent evening. We'll see. Got in a little bit late, but it should be alright, so I guess we'll see how we do.
So it was a pretty slow evening up until around 5:30 when I heard a mature does and fawns came trotting in. I quickly got the camera ready and got ready. However, the deer skirted me just out of range. And when they finally came into range, there was just too much brush in the way to confidently take a shot. A few of the doe worked their way into the field, so I decided to try and alert them, hoping some of them would stop and maybe kind of walk either towards me or away from the opening in the rock wall. And I was able to get one of them to stop and kind of walk away, but I wasn't able to hold my draw long enough and just unfortunately ended up spooking them. This may have actually been a positive, though, as later in the evening a couple doe came back in, and you'll see what happens then. So around 15 minutes later, I spotted a few doe below me that began walking up towards me in the field. These were likely the same ones from earlier. However, unlike last time, the first mature doe in line did not skirt me outside of bow range, and let's just say that was a poor decision. I knew as soon as I shot that I hit the doe a bit far back, and I knew at best it was a long liver shot, and at worst it was a straight liver shot. At that point, I was totally focused on watching and analyzing the deer and how it acted, and I decided that the best course of action would be to get another arrow in it, since it was acting like it was liver shot. Therefore, I nocked another arrow and attempted a long range follow up shot.
She's down. She's down. My first shot was not a good shot, I think. I felt so bad, dude. But I put a follow-up in her, and she's down. So that wasn't my best work, but
Fortunately, the doe died very quickly, and the follow up shot was a perfect double lung shot. It looked like she may have been about to drop right before I took that follow up, but I felt that it was best to be safe and try to prevent any unnecessary suffering. It turns out on that first shot, the doe lunged just a little bit right before I shot. I'm unsure exactly how much this affected my arrow placement, but I do know that it definitely didn't help matters. And upon examining the doe, it turned out my first shot did catch the back of the lung and the liver, although it was definitely way too far back for my liking. Overall, it was a great 2 hunts, and I plan on filming more archery hunts on some PA public land for doe, and possibly some PA private land during the rut for buck. I hope you all enjoyed this video. It was certainly a joy to make, and if you made it to the end, thank you, and I'll catch you later.